Everybody needs a break in life, even the Lakers. According to Shams Charania, very good reporter at The Athletic, that conversations between Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets are going nowhere. It's at an impasse. Now, I've told you before, KD needed to put his foot down and tell ownership, let's move Kyrie. Let's get some size on this team. Let's get somebody who's less flaky. There's things the Brooklyn Nets need. What they don't need is a lousy defender who shows up occasionally and can be brittle and can't defend. And so this is a very interesting development. It's a huge break for the Lakers. Does Rob Pelinka, does the organization, Jeannie Buss, have the courage, forget Westbrook, to move off Anthony Davis? This is the moment. Think about it from the Nets side. What do they need? In the East, Giannis, Embiid. You need size. You need size. Bam Adebayo. Everybody in the East, Robert Williams, size. Don't need that as much out west with the Warriors. Small ball wins. Suns are going to get rid of DeAndre Ayton. In the East, there's bigs. What do they need? Anthony Davis is a big and a tremendous defender. In fact, increasingly, I like his defense better than his offense. Kevin Durant also goes from flaky Kyrie to about the most chill dude in the entire NBA, Anthony Davis. He grew up closer to the East than the West, won a championship in college, won it in the bubble. LeBron privately frustrated with his lack of commitment. They get AD. What do the Lakers need? Lakers need shooters. Lakers need somebody that can play off the ball, and when LeBron goes to the bench, can be point guard. Too many people are worrying about Westbrook. Irrelevant. Contract's going to be up in a year. Lakers aren't interested long-term. Either is anybody else. That's why he's going to be on his fifth team in 5 years. People are just moving that lousy contract around the league. That's what happens when you sign a bad contract. People just move you team to team to team to team. Westbrook's not the factor here. The player that some in the building in Los Angeles think is going to give them something he once had, and he's not, is AD. It's over. He's not committed. He's brittle, and he's declining. There's no proof that Kyrie's declining. Kyrie's just flaky. But remember in the last several months that Kyrie Irving had a breakthrough, and we talked about it on this show. He said, he acknowledged, the LeBron breakup was my fault. And that's a real thing. LeBron not only can lead the league in scoring still, but he will create. The Lakers didn't create those shots. LeBron did. LeBron is a brilliant passer, a Magic Johnson-level passer that will get you great three looks. AD's not a three-ball shooter. Westbrook's not a shooter, period. So Kyrie solves an issue. Not all of them. You wish he was a better defender. Yeah, you do. You wish AD wasn't declining and was healthier. What right now AD gives the Lakers defense? All right. And that got him a title in the bubble. He's not available. He's not a shooter. He's a big that doesn't want to be a big. Kyrie's a shooter that wants to be a shooter. He's a scorer that wants to be a scorer. He works with LeBron. I know he flamed out in Boston. I know it's not working in Brooklyn. I know in Cleveland. He acknowledged, it's my bad. That's the first step in any problem. Hey, I screwed up. And by the way, the Knicks, the Clippers, and the Lakers are all interested, reportedly, according to The Athletic, they're all interested in Kyrie. Well, what do the Lakers have the Knicks and the Clippers don't? A star to give you back. AD would be the best player. And the Clippers can give you Norman Powell and draft picks, and the Knicks could give you an R.J. Barrett maybe and some other. No, Lakers can give you exactly what Brooklyn needs to make the deal work. A star with a big contract who defends and has size in the East, where if you want to win the East, you're going to have to get through Robert Williams, Bam Adebayo, Giannis, Joel Embiid. Got to have some size. You can't ask Kevin Durant to play 42 minutes to guard Giannis. You can't do that. It's not fair to Kevin Durant. So this will also illustrate something that's very important. How much power do the Lakers have? How much courage? Is LeBron running the organization? Is Clutch Sports running the organization? Because when you think of the Warriors, you don't think Clutch Sports is running it. When you look at the Celtics or the Bucks, you don't think Clutch Sports is running. And maybe Clutch Sports isn't running the Lakers. But there is a feeling in Los Angeles and a feeling around the league that LeBron and Clutch have a lot of power. It's a step-up big boy moment for Rob Pelinka. It's a step-up moment. LeBron maybe wouldn't love the deal, but I'll tell you this. You're not going to get a perfect team quickly with LeBron. There is no perfect team. You got bad contracts. You have declining players. The idea that you could get Kyrie Irving, who fits LeBron perfectly, 2 reasons. 1, LeBron will get him more good 3 looks than any guard in the league. Secondly, when LeBron hits the bench, Kyrie can play point. So 2 of the Lakers' issue is when LeBron sits, who runs the show? Kyrie. He gives them a scorer. They need it. He gives them an off-ball player. They need it. And to get Kyrie, you got to match salaries. Well, guess what? AD. So this is I think it works. There's nothing perfect out there, right? Like there's no perfect trade when you got a declining AD and Westbrook. I would argue neither works perfectly with LeBron anymore. As David Fizdale said, we had the second most open 3 looks in the league. We just can't hit him. Yes, Kyrie's not a versatile wing defender. You're not getting everything, bro. This isn't the Warriors. This isn't Milwaukee. This isn't the Celtics. You haven't drafted and developed brilliantly. You're in a dire spot. This move works for me. Selfishly, as a consumer of great basketball, I feel bad for KD. I love watching him play. I think he's committed. I think his decision-making is an issue. I don't think his basketball is at all. I think he's an unbelievable player. So I had said, I'll defend Kevin Durant on all the basketball stuff. I think he's committed on the defensive end. I think he's a great teammate. I think he's fun to play with. I think the Warriors loved him. I think they were shell-shocked when he left. But it's his personality. And this league is more than just, hey, I like to hoop. Magic Johnson got coaches fired. LeBron's built rosters like in Cleveland. If you think it's all just about, I just love to hoop, that's just for the guys that don't win rings or don't matter. It's a business, $1 billion business. And I think KD's decision-making, his inability to confront Draymond Green at the end in Golden State, his inability to choose a better teammate than Kyrie Irving, who was erratic, his inability to understand how good the culture and the coaching and the GMing was in Golden State. They work behind the scenes as well as play football and basketball. Russell Wilson was working behind the scenes in Seattle. It's not a coincidence Russell Wilson ended up in Denver. He looked at that Denver receiving corps. He looked at their corners, their pass rushers. He looked at their momentum with their smart GM. Russell Wilson told Seattle, get me to Denver. He had a veto clause, right? That's why Seattle didn't get as much for the deal as they could have had it been any team. Russell Wilson, for a year, like Brady and LeBron, worked behind the scenes. Kevin Durant can continue to say, hey, man, I'm just about ball. No, you're not. No, you're not. Be true to yourself. Be honest to yourself. If it was just about ball, you'd have stayed in Golden State because that was the place you could just ball. You didn't have to be the tough guy, Draymond. You didn't have to be the soul of the team, the leader, Steph Curry. You could just ball, and you left. So stuff matters to you, KD. Be honest with yourself. Stuff matters beyond it's just about ball. Now, the promising part with KD is he's put his foot down on Kyrie, and that's why the Nets and Kyrie are at an impasse. But if you look at, since the turn of the millennium, look at our 4 dynasties. Warriors, Miami Heatles, Lakers with Kobe, Spurs with Duncan. All 4 had the big guy at the top. Steph, LeBron, Kobe, and Duncan. All 4 were totally unique personalities, totally unique games. But all 4 were leaders in their own way. That's what KD has to graduate to. I don't want to hear about this, I'm just a baller. You're too great of a player to just be a baller. And it's not just about ball with you, because if it was, Golden State was perfect. So I think this is a moment. I do not believe KD has to win a title as the guy to get respect. I think he's respected as one of the great shot makers in league history. I contend he's the only guy in league history that would beat Michael Jordan in a game of one-on-one if they had a tournament in the league. He doesn't need to get my respect, but he does need to be more of a leader and embrace it if he wants to be part of something special. He was with Golden State. It was more than just basketball, or he wouldn't have left the franchise. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.